We are coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3 and in your top stories at this hour.
A new year is upon us. As we welcome the new year, we do so with reflection.
First up, President Cyril Ramaphosa addresses the nation on the final night of the year, that is 2025. While South Africa is preparing to welcome in the new year, countries in the East are already celebrating. New Zealand was amongst the first to usher in 2026.
There was a particular time that the media will come to castigate Brian. It was always around election time.
And the family of the late Brian Hlongwa has bemoaned a perceived attack on the former Gauteng MEC of Health. A very good afternoon to you all and welcome to Prime News on SABC 3. My name is Bekkersdal and I will be guiding you through the day's top news. And as we prepare to usher in the new year on this very last day of 2025, I invite you to stay with us. And with that said, here are your leads. As we count down to midnight and a fresh start, President Cyril Ramaphosa is calling on South Africans to unite and build the country of their dreams. He just delivered his annual New Year's message a few moments ago. Let us take a look at what was conveyed.
Hello South Africans, a new year is upon us. As we welcome the new year, we do so with reflection, resolve and hope. The year behind us was not easy. Many South Africans faced the strain of a myriad of challenges over the past year. It continues to be a matter of concern that many South Africans are unemployed and that poverty and inequality persist. The high cost of living has imposed huge burdens on South African households. Many communities live in fear of gangsters. Women and children live in fear of gender-based violence and femicide. The delivery of basic services in our cities, in our towns and villages are often disrupted or do not exist at all. These are difficult and complex challenges faced by many of our people. I acknowledge these difficulties plainly and give assurance that your struggles are known and understood. We are continuing to take a variety of actions to address these challenges. Our success in addressing these challenges includes working together in partnership between the government, business, labor, civil society, and every citizen committed to the future of our country. We look back on the many initiatives we have taken to address our challenges. On reflection, we are encouraged by the emerging progress that is laying the foundation for even better progress in the year ahead. Yes, much more still needs to be done. We therefore enter the new year with renewed hope, greater purpose and even greater confidence in the potential of our great nation and its people. We are grateful for your resilience, for the way we have stood together through difficult moments, and for a unity that remains firm. Together, we are changing our country for the better. Our economy. We are working on creating more jobs, especially for young people. Inflation has eased. The cost of living is coming down. The rand has strengthened. South Africa's sovereign credit rating has been upgraded for the first time in 20 years. This means government can mobilize funding for infrastructure investment and social development at a much lower rate. The structural transformation program that we embarked on 5 years ago is showing positive progress. Eskom's performance, which in the recent past caused hardship to households, communities and businesses, has improved steadily. As a result, our country has gone without load shedding for many months. More goods are being transported on our rail network and are also being handled through our ports. We have restored more commuter rail corridors, making it possible for more people to travel safely and affordably on our trains. Infrastructure is one of our key priorities. We have for the first time budgeted more than 1 trillion rand for infrastructure investment over the next 3 years. This has catalyzed the revitalization of our country's roads, port, rail, energy and water systems, where investment is now evident. Through the Presidential Employment Stimulus, through the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention, and other public employment programs, we have enabled thousands of people to find opportunities to earn, learn, and build livelihoods. We have worked with the private sector to establish the Youth Employment Service that has created more than 200,000 work experience opportunities for young, unemployed South Africans and is set to increase this number in the coming period. The continuing improvement in the business environment is contributing to the improvement of our economy and job creation. Our state-owned enterprises are being strengthened and are set to play their key role in the economy of our country. Rooting out corruption is our overriding priority. Through the excellent work of the Special Investigating Unit, the SIU, and the Asset Forfeiture Unit, we have recovered billions of stolen money. Specialized task teams have made breakthroughs against illegal mining, kidnapping, economic infrastructure crimes, and construction site extortion. Determined to continue to take decisive steps to clean up our law enforcement agencies, the recommendations of the Madlanga Commission will be implemented to enhance the reforms that are needed to reposition our police service and other law enforcement agencies. This year we launched the National Dialogue and held the first National Convention, which brought together delegates from across society and the length and breadth of our country to define the agenda for an inclusive nationwide conversation about the next chapter in our democracy. The National Dialogue continues our country's proud tradition of holding inclusive conversations to resolve challenges, to build consensus, and to chart a course for the future. We are traversing a path we have walked before and will be guided in the National Dialogue process by the Eminent Persons Group, who will be the guarantors of the dialogue's inclusivity and integrity. The steering committee, comprised of community-based representatives, will steer the national consultations next year. South Africa's standing in the global community has been enhanced and reaffirmed by our successful hosting of the first G20 summit ever held on African soil. The leaders' declaration adopted by the summit articulated global commitments on inclusive economic growth, debt sustainability, climate action, food security, reform of global financial institutions, and a number of other key issues. We can stand proud as South Africans that the legacy of our G20 presidency is that we ensured that the voice of our continent, Africa, and the Global South is recognized, reflected upon, and respected. Fellow South Africans, our nation is like a river fed by many streams. We may at times diverge and differ, but we always converge like streams of a mighty river. There may be boulders in our way, but we get around them like the flowing waters of a mighty river. We've shown that when we work together, we overcome even the most difficult obstacles. Our spirits have been lifted by the excellent performance of our artists, our sports people, our musicians and writers. We salute all who continue to proudly fly our national flag across the world in international forums, in sports, arts and culture, academia, commerce, science, medicine, the judiciary, politics, labor, trade, investment, and many other endeavors. To our young people, you are the future of our nation. Your energy, creativity, and skills are vital to South Africa's renewal and progress. To the workers of our country, to the entrepreneurs, business people, and professionals, your contribution drives our economy forward. To the women of our country, you are the backbone of our nation. We honor and respect you. To our men and women in uniform, we salute you as you perform your duty of protecting our nation. To our civil servants, you serve the people of our country diligently with respect. To our doctors, nurses, and other health workers, we thank you for working to heal the wounds of our people by keeping them healthy and alive. To our public representatives, you are the guardians of our democracy. To our traditional leaders, you are the custodians of our rich heritage and are the conscience of our nation. To the people living with disabilities, your strength and resilience gives us courage to work harder, to stand by you, and ease your burdens. To our sportsmen and women, you make us proud to be South African on the world sporting stage. To our media people who continue to keep the nation informed of what is happening in our country, we thank you. To our elders, your wisdom continues to guide us. For the contribution that every South African has made in all of our people's lives endeavors over the last year, we thank you. Despite the challenges that we face, our country is getting stronger. Our economy is improving. As we prepare to welcome a new year, let us remain united to building the South Africa of our dreams. I call upon the men of South Africa to respect and honor the young girls and the women of South Africa and desist from gender-based violence and femicide. Wherever you may be across our beautiful land, I wish you a happy and blessed new year. May God continue to bless South Africa and protect its people in 2026. Thank you.
That was our President Cyril Ramaphosa reflecting on some of the challenges and achievements that we have faced and conquered as a nation in 2025, namely touching on matters in relation to GBV, crime and ESCOM, to mention a few. He also spoke on a very pertinent matter around job creation for the youth and has stated that government is planning to invest 1 trillion rands to improve infrastructure. Some of the highlights he noted are in relation to our national sports teams that have continued to do well and put South Africa on the map. So a glimmer of light and hope there. With that said, it's time for a quick break. We will be back with more after this. Welcome back to Prime News on 3. As the curtain slowly falls on 2025, residents across Johannesburg are already looking ahead, sharing how they plan to usher in the new year and what they hope 2026 will bring. From quiet moments at home with loved ones to lively braais marking the final hours of the year, Joburgers are closing this chapter in their own unique ways. Some have shared their New Year's Eve plans and personal goals that they are setting for 2026.
The sound of jingle bells has faded. Christmas decorations are coming down. And in just a few hours, 2025 will belong to history. As the clock ticks closer to midnight, many are pausing to reflect on lessons learned, challenges faced, and milestones achieved throughout the year.
Plans, I'm a new mom, so there's no street time this time. It's just me, my baby, and my family today.
For some, the final night of the year will be filled with laughter, music, and celebration as they welcome the new year surrounded by friends and festive activities.
Our plans are pajamas in front of TV until midnight and then bed, because we're old now. We can't do it in any parties, so we're just old. New Year's resolutions, it's to have a fun year. We have had 2024 was rubbish.
2025.
2024 was rubbish. 2025 was slightly better, but not by much. 2026 is the year of fun.
SABC News, Johannesburg.
Meanwhile, beachgoers in Port St. John's in the Eastern Cape are up in arms about a permit system that is being employed for vehicle access to Second Beach. The Port St. John's municipality is charging motorists and hawkers to gain access to designated parking areas as part of a crowd control measure.
Taken this decision last year that there must be a parking in the Second Beach that are going to be paid by the motorists coming in. Solely to manage a traffic flow and the overcrowding of the people, so that at least there must be free access of the emergency vehicles, because we once experienced a number of accidents and incidents where we would have a traffic jam and there would be no access coming out or coming in the beach, and that would hinder in mostly the people that will need emergencies at the beaches. And as such, for the municipality to maintain the safety of the people, this was the only option at the moment, to say, let's manage it like this way.
The family of the late Brian Hlongwa has bemoaned a perceived attack on the former Gauteng MEC of Health. Dr. Vusi Hlongwa accused unnamed forces of constantly attacking Brian Hlongwa ahead of ANC conferences or national elections. Addressing the funeral service, the family stated that Brian Hlongwa used his last pension money to prepare for his fraud, corruption and money laundering case.
The family of Brian Hlongwa believes there was a politically motivated plot against him in connection with the fraud, corruption and money laundering charges he was facing. Family representative Dr. Vusi Hlongwa said the former MEC used the last of his pension of his money to prepare for his legal defense.
There's a time that the media will come to castigate Brian. It was always around election time, always around elections. Whether ANC elections or national elections. So, bekukhona isandla esinoboya, just to make sure that my brother does not lift his finger. Even now, they're saying the trial was around April. Why around April? Because elections were just about to come.
ANC Deputy President Paul Mashatile lauded the work Hlongwa did in his youth to render the country ungovernable in the 1980s. Mashatile says they were resolute in their attempts to make the apartheid state unworkable after a directive from Oliver Reginald Tambo.
As we honor Comrade Brian Hlongwa, who I fondly always called Bruno, we recall that he was not just a foot soldier of our movement, but an architect of the mind and a contributor to the politics of the ANC, as well as a transformation of the Gauteng provincial government.
His comrades also said he had strong views at times and never stopped advancing his arguments. Samkele Masego, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The owner of Kwanokolo Tavern, Munesi Gertrude Matwa, has been released on bail of 1,500 rand. Matwa appeared briefly at the Western Area Magistrates Court on the West Rand. The 47-year-old woman faces a charge of fraud after police discovered that the liquor license used to operate the tavern in Bekkersdal, where 10 people were killed in a mass shooting earlier this month, was allegedly fraudulent. More news after this. Thank you for staying with us. The search for the body of the soldier who went missing in the Komati River in Mpumalanga was called off on day 6 of the operation. The 33-year-old SANDF member and his 39-year-old colleague were swept away while trying to cross a low-level bridge towards the Lebomba border post on Christmas Day. The first body was recovered a day after the incident, and remains believed to be that of the missing soldier were discovered on the border between Mozambique and South Africa 2 days ago.
In total, it was 6 days search. During that period, like the brigadier said, we used the helicopters, we had used drones, we had members on foot. We had a tough time with the weather. We had rain and we had a lot of mist, so that also hampered the helicopters and the helicopter search, because there were 2 days, I think, in total that they couldn't get through. The drone as well, it's not made to fly in the rain, so if it was raining, we couldn't drone. On the foot, the members, the river has swollen up again. So that made it much difficult for them, because the hippos and the crocodiles also go out of the flooded river. So when you are walking on the side, you have to be awake, because you might step on a crocodile or you might run into a hippo. That also hampered the search a bit, but I'm satisfied that we did what we could. We found the remains. We are hopeful, and we hope that the DNA is our suspicions correct, and we tried our best.
Israel has announced that prominent international humanitarian organizations working in Gaza will have their licenses suspended from tomorrow for not complying with new registration requirements. This could worsen the humanitarian crisis of famine and a healthcare collapse in Gaza. Blake Sifton compiled the following report from Tel Aviv.
Israeli authorities announced that 37 international NGOs operating in Gaza will have their licenses suspended from January 1st for not complying with new registration requirements that came into effect last spring. The NGOs, including Doctors Without Borders, Oxfam, and the Norwegian Refugee Council, will then be forced to stop their operations in Gaza within 60 days. Now, these aid organizations say that the new registration rules require them to divulge personal information about their Palestinian staff members and their families. They've called these new rules vague, arbitrary, and highly politicized. The Israeli government says that the new rules are necessary because they say their security services have found people working for the NGOs, in their words, involved in terrorist activities. Now, NGOs like Doctors Without Borders have rejected those accusations, and they've said that these new rules will have a major impact on their operations in Gaza, where they say they support some 20% of hospital beds in Gaza, as well as 1/3 of births. Hundreds of people are employed by these NGOs in Gaza, and many of them will be made to leave by March 1st under this new directive. Now, as this comes, yesterday we heard from the foreign ministers of 10 countries, including France, the UK, Canada, Switzerland, and Japan. They have called the humanitarian situation in Gaza catastrophic, and they've called these new registration requirements for the NGOs restrictive and unacceptable.
As we close the chapter on 2025, let us carry forward the lessons of resilience and unity into 2026. May this new year bring healing, growth, and prosperity to our nation and to the world. Until next time, from myself, Becky, and the Prime News team, stay blessed and Happy New Year, South Africa. Salute.